Radio Free Skaro!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Radio Free Skaro, episode number 1043. I am Stephen in Edmonton.
Morning, Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
It's first off, it's day 4 of our Children of Earth retrospecticus on this episode, which is handy timing on our part because, as we'll talk about a little bit later, Russell T Davies has actually referenced Children of Earth in his promotion of the war between the land and the sea. So yay us for nailing it months ago when we decided to do this Torchwood recap.
Yeah, brilliant retconning.
Yeah, well, we guessed right. We guessed right is what I'm saying. But so anyway, that's coming on later. A whole bushel of news and stuff to talk about on this, the weekend of Chicago TARDIS. Hopefully everyone, well, basically as you're listening to this, is pretty much over, but hopefully everyone had a good time at Chicago TARDIS. Christopher Eccleston is there, and at Ballad amongst a whole host of other folks. It was the 10th anniversary of Heaven Sent. I remember that because it was at that Chicago TARDIS that they screened it, and I've talked often about this, about by the time it actually screened, I think I'd watched it about 4 times. And and I thought, okay, I'll just sit here and just look on my phone and stuff while everyone enjoys Heaven Sent for the first time. And in like 4 minutes in, I was just watching and you know, just enraptured with it. And everyone was like screaming with delight after the, personally, I think that's a hell of a bird line and the reveal of Gallifrey. And it was just, yeah. Pretty cool moment. So I took it upon myself actually to drop director Rachel Talalay a line a couple days ago, or a few days ago now, just to say I'm just getting in early, just to wish you a happy 10th anniversary, just assuming there'd be a big BBC deluge of like, holy crap, 10 years of Heaven Sent, and she's, oh my god, thanks for reminding me. And within 2 days she made like a video of it, so that's in the show notes. You can watch about how they made the veil and their early test footage and stuff of making the veil, and how are they going to do it, and how do we have like a bunch of gears collapse. So they just said, let's have a thing collapse and then roll some gears in on set.
Yeah, she said the perfect Doctor Who way to do things, and she's absolutely right.
Yeah. So that's in the show notes. So yeah, Heaven Sent is really good, guys.
No. What?
Yeah, it's probably my favorite episode. Probably. I think so.
Is it? Okay.
It's up there. It's top 5 for sure.
Yeah, it's tough to compare all time though, you know, because it's
no Twin Dilemma, but
no.
Well, what is? As Chris and I are experts in it now, having watched it recently.
Yeah,
for the first time in more years than I care to remember.
Yep.
That's true. Yeah. What else is happening before we get on the rest of the news? Anything else?
A lot of water-based things.
There's a lot of water. Hopefully no aquaphobes. Did we call them aquaphobes?
Why not?
Why not? we renamed the Sea Devils and stuff, so we can rename whatever we want now. It could be whatever we want. But
I'm a robophobe. I suffer from robophobia, not
robophobia?
aquaphobia. I actually do, because whenever I see stuff about AI, I'm like, oh, robophobia.
That's true.
Grimwade syndrome.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of, we might as well rip that off because the internet was abuzz with this weird looking photo of Paul McGann and Billy Piper on set looking at scripts with people in behind. It was like a slightly new TARDIS set, and everyone was going, "What is happening?" And I admit, like, okay, I don't believe this, but I needed to just disprove it. And so, like, I ran it through like a couple of different like AI detection filter sites, and this is nope, looks like it's human to me. And it's like, well, I don't believe it still because so there must be some weird new software out there that like trips up AI detection software because it was blurry. That's the thing about it. It was like blurry.
My theory is that it's Nano Banana Pro, which is Gemini's, I think, new image generator, which apparently gets past all the quote unquote stumbling blocks of AI, like it looking glowy and several fingers extra and all that.
I was just going to assume Stephen was a part of a conspiracy theory.
No, No, it's not.
Well, my other thing is like somebody just did it the old-fashioned way and photoshopped it. Good for them. Except for misinformation. But other than that, good for them.
Yeah, I don't think it was Photoshop. I think something was generated in there because Billie Piper was wearing sort of like, an approximation of the Ncuti Gatwa costume as last seen in the reality war, which is understand. I mean, Jodie Whittaker wasn't wearing Peter Capaldi's exact costume during the Woman Who Fell to Earth. She was wearing a version of it that was tailored to her, Otherwise, she'd be swimming in it. So that I could believe. McGann was there with his TV movie outfit on, which raised some red flags. But
his regular hair.
Yeah, and once again, I pulled in some favors and I just messaged Ken Deep and just says, "Show this to Paul McGann. Is this real?" And he said, "That is hilarious." Quote end quote. Paul McGann said that. So that instantly said, because Paul McGann's not the type that goes, yes, that's me, But he also not going to lie about it. So yeah, he thought it was hilarious. So, and then of course you find out that Russell T Davies hasn't even written the Christmas special yet for next year. So that's why I thought like this is way too early anyway, and it's not going to be a thing for the Christmas Day or Red No or Children of, or whether it's the Children in Need Day, because that's already passed. So like, all the red flags are going up. This is nonsense.
Well, but here's another red flag. Right. Why the hell would Paul McGann be in this in the first place?
Right.
Other than as a cameo, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it's a bit of wish casting, resurrected as art. But the dangerous thing is that we had to go through so much effort to try to disprove it, which we technically have yet to officially disprove it, other than having the person in it dispel that myth. So it's gonna get worse, folks. It's gonna get worse.
Was it one of you or is it somebody else who had said is in the photo McGann is wearing basically his TV movie thing, but that's not allowed? Like, there's no rights to him wearing the costume?
That wasn't me. Somebody said that. I don't know if the he's obviously appears in costume on the artwork of a lot of Big Finish stuff. And
that's licensed, though.
That's true.
I can't remember who said it, and therefore I can't remember how, how much I trust the information.
Yeah, I know. I know the characters of Grace and Chin Lee are not able to be used in any Doctor Who.
Like they're owned by Fox or whoever.
Paramount.
Charlie and Chris and whatever, I guess.
But, which were mentioned in the Night of the Doctor. Yeah, so I think that's the only thing. But like a costume, no, I think you can wear whatever you want. It's a costume, damn it,
It doesn't mean it can't be copyrighted or trademarked or something.
I don't know. I mean, what does it say in the script? Let's get Matthew Jacobs on the line. What does it say in the script, Matthew? What did it say? This distinct costume is what he wears. They probably thought, I don't know, let's put something on. I don't care, I don't know. Anyway, it feels wrong, and it probably is wrong, but it took a lot of effort to disprove it, and that was one picture and image. But you know what? Once the pictures and images start moving, that's when it's really obvious that things are fake, so I'm not that worried about moving images. It's the still images that are the ones that are going to get tricky as we move along.
And the rumor mongering hasn't even started. I'm sure it has actually started. I just haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's going to go to a frenzied pitch by the time we get to Christmas 2026.
Oh, yeah. Next year's going to be fun, everyone. It's going to be a lot of fun. There'll be no actual new Doctor Who on all year, except speculating what that one episode of new episode will be, and then, of course, bracing ourselves for what it might be, because it's
good times.
It is the 10th anniversary of 2016, and its lack of Doctor Who.
That's true.
So
my favorite year for a number of different reasons.
Anyway, the big thing this week though was the push for the War Between the Land and the Sea. There's a new trailer out there. There was a behind the scenes thing. The Whoniverse, the new Whoniverse episode dropped, which had a whole big chunk of it devoted to Pete McTighe talking about the War Between the Land and the Sea. Titles and synopses are out there now because of all the listings. Programs. The soundtrack's coming out December the 5th with a track already available, Barclay's theme right now. Track 1's on there. And Alison Goldfrapp's going to be doing a cover of David Bowie's Heroes on that soundtrack, which is pretty cool. So yes, any thoughts and worries about anything that's come out from the war between the land and the sea. I'm going to go to Warren because
there's a third of the news list you went through in 8 seconds.
Well, I know because
good job.
It's all part of the same thing, It's all part of the war between. You can talk about what you want.
Okay, go to me first.
Yeah, Warren's a little. I'm going to brace the listener. Warren's been a little pessimistic about this whole venture. Warren.
Well, I mean, I didn't hate series 1 and 2. I didn't love them either, and I'm feeling about the same level of not disdain, but ennui about this. I'm like, okay, fine, we're gonna watch 2 of these, and then 2 more, and then 1 more, and it's gonna be work. It's gonna feel like work, and that's it's a dumb thing for a podcaster to say, amongst many dumb things I say. But I'm just like, okay, fine, we're back to the Sea Devils. No, sorry, Homo Aqua. What an offensive thing I just said. And it's the same. It's in the trailer. They're like, we were here first. I'm like, okay, well, you've done this 4 times now. Like, come on, something new,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they will. Maybe, I said the same thing about Children of Earth, and I was as you'll hear later, very pleasantly surprised. But I just, with nothing to base it on other than being a churlish fan, I'm being a churlish fan about it.
Guess so.
Also with Goldfrapp, I don't know I'm not really super familiar with her music, but I'm like, okay, it's going to be Heroes sang by her. It better not be the, by now, very cliche, slow it down, make it somber,
Yeah.
Which Heroes kind of is to begin with, so.
I don't know. It's a very triumphant song. I love Heroes, the original version of Heroes. I think it's great.
Okay, but it lends itself to being slowed down in a cliche fashion.
It does. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Not that they're doing that. I have no idea. I'm just saying I don't want to hear that if they are.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to the music just because it's the one Ballad fits somebody else. It's not your typical Murray Gold Bomb. I actually haven't listened to the Barclays theme yet. That's come out now. It's dropped yet, but
also maybe part of my ennui is just preventative gold syndrome. Just like, more of that, but then of course it's not happening. So I'm misplaced ennui there.
This is why part of the reason why I am kind of looking forward to that. Why it looks like an actual show, which is good. It doesn't feel like it has all the camp nonsense and whimsy that I think was taking over the 2 Disney Who seasons, which I grew tired of. We'll see how the script goes. But apart from that, I think things are looking okay. I don't know, Chris.
We'll see.
Yeah,
I look forward to be proven wrong.
Yeah. What are your feelings after this huge marketing push, Chris?
I watched the trailer.
Yep.
It looks good. Like, it looks polished and professional, as a trailer should. I've not had a chance to look at the behind the scenes because that dropped
this few minutes ago,
only a few hours ago as we record this, so I just haven't had a chance to see it this morning. The Whoniverse Show I've also not had an opportunity to watch, so I can't really speak to them, but I mean, some of the synopses and stuff look interesting, so I'm going to go over the episode titles.
Go for it.
You skipped them.
Yeah, sure.
So episode 1, Homo Aqua. We've expressed thoughts of that already, but in the link in the show notes to Cult Box, the still frame looks pretty badass.
Yep.
And then episode 2, Plastic Apocalypse, or as I'm going to call it, Praxeus Mark II.
On the nose. That's what I'm going to call it.
Very on the nose. Yeah.
But especially with Pete McTighe's involvement. So it's a very Christopher Lloyd-esque looking Russell Tovey in frame on that. At least I'm assuming that's Russell Tovey. It's a bit of a distance.
Oh, with the on the call ball where he's like, he's on the phone and everything's flying around and stuff like that.
Yeah. Very, very Doc Brown in my.
I was going to ask,
we've got to go back. Yeah.
We talking Buckaroo Banzai, or what are we talking here?
Or we can talk Jim from Taxi if you really want.
There we go.
Sure.
Episode 3, The Deep. Russell Tovey in diving suit, I assume. Talking to, I assume, Salt.
Probably going down to the deep is what I guess is going to happen in that episode.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough.
Episode 4, The Witch of the Waterfall. Great title.
That's actually a pretty good title.
Good title.
Love it to bits. And episode 5 is what the heck is 5 anyway?
The End of the War.
The End of the War. Okay.
I feel like that maybe run that one through.
Oh, there it is.
Through a filter, or maybe that's the.
No, you just call it War's End, and it would just be better. Like, come on.
How about Happy Christmas, War is Over?
There we're talking.
Right there.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence.
When you think
do what we do, just put random stuff in our titles.
Yeah, when you said Plastic Apocalypse, for some reason, the first thing I thought was a Plastic Ono Band.
Exactly.
But,
And they were pretty apocalyptic.
So here's what they need to do. They need to have a sea filled with character options, rejects. just forgotten figures they never made, just floating around.
Yeah, and then release them 2 years after the episode actually goes out, about which more later.
Why there's so many tenants? Why?
Yeah, right.
Apparently, according to RTD, the show exists in the same universe as Torchwood Children of Earth, just because of that, what's his name, General...
Colin McFarlane's character.
Which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
Which, as we thought when we did the Children of Earth retrospective, we assumed he was actually American, but no, he's very British.
Very British.
And did a very good American accent.
I thought so too.
Generally speaking, Brits can do better American accents than Americans, with exceptions, can do British accents.
Yeah, generally. I'm starting, you know what, though, whenever I see... shows, I'm starting, like, especially in Doctor Who, I gotta be honest with you, sometimes, like, oh, you're not really from America, are you? Like, I've said this before, but like when Ben Browder shows up in a town called Mercy, amongst all the other people, it's still, what are you doing here? You know, people doing that, and then Ben Browder shows up, and okay, he's American. No one else is, come on.
Or conversely, House of Dynamite, which I haven't watched yet, but Idris Elba is the president, and he's doing a not terribly convincing American accent.
Oh,
and I think I can't remember who the other actor was, but it was another actor who's supposed to also be American, who he's talking to, who's also a Brit. I'm like, why don't you guys just, you know... old beaning each other, like just oh yes, quite so.
Right. Why? Yeah. Why are we doing this to our British actors? You know, like they're great on their own. Why do we have to keep casting them in American things and not having their actual natural voices?
I remember reading somewhere that the reason for this is there just aren't enough young male American actors, and the reason for that is because high schools and colleges would emphasize football. So anybody who was a strapping young lad who'd look good on the big screen was kind of funneled into football instead of the drama class, unlike the years gone by. And that's why there's less, there's Chris Evans and a couple of other Chris's, and I think that's about it, really.
Well, yeah. Maybe they just keep casting Jared Leto and things and putting him in literally everything, right? I mean,
first of all, that's not a young man, first of all.
But that's your problem right
Possibly
there.
not even human.
Yeah.
So anyway, another... So I find it weird that RTD says it's in the same... universe of Children of Earth, because Children of Earth is in the Doctor Who universe anyway, as this will be. But apparently in episodes, at least in episodes 1, 2, and 4, Lachelle Carl is credited. So we'll have some Trinity Wells action going on
once again.
She better buy Generate. That's all I'm saying.
She was in Children of Earth. She was in New Doctor Who. She was in Classic Doctor Who. I don't think she was in Sarah Jane. She certainly wasn't in Class.
I do love how she became a radical maniac. Like she just went down the pipeline from normal to crazy, and I was like, you know what? That's not bad. That's not bad. That
tracks, actually. Yeah, that does track. But another reason why I'm looking forward to the show is that the episodes are dropping like 8:30 at night or at 9:20. You know, like it's clearly not made for families or intended to be made for families. So like I think there'll be a slightly more adult tone to them. I don't know, Warren. I'm looking forward to it more. Tell me I'm wrong in 4 weeks' time.
No, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. Yeah. I mean, I may change my tune next week when we watch the first ones. I might really like it. Who knows? Like, I hope I do, but I just the gumption ain't there, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Like I was saying, the trailer does look good and looks polished and all that kind of stuff. And we know there's Disney money here, but we also know that Disney money doesn't necessarily fix bad writing. So we'll have to see where...
No, not necessarily. Doesn't at all fix bad writing.
Well, we'll just have to see where that kind of lands with this.
Yeah. It is the writing that I'm most worried about, if I'm at all honest. But
for the most part, I dig Pete McTighe's stuff.
Right.
And I'm really appreciative of the work he's done on the Blu-ray range and the the promo videos and whatnot for those before they were canned. Mm-hmm. So
for now, maybe they'll come back. Maybe they'll come back.
He's a big fan and stuff too, and but we'll see. As this goes out, it's like an hour or two before episode 1, a week and an hour or two before episode 1 drops.
Yeah. For what it's just as a reminder as well, folks, our release schedule gets a little bit messy starting next week. So next week's actual episode where we review part 5 of Children of Earth will come out on Saturday, December the 6th. So that we don't confuse anyone for dropping it on the same day that War Between comes out. And then next week, we're probably aiming for Wednesday releases for at least the first 2. And then the last one, which of course comes out December 21st, the Prime Day for those of you who are Blake 7 fans. We have no idea when that episode's come. We don't have no idea, A, when we'll be able to watch that episode, B, when we'll record it, and then, by the time it's going to come out, it'll be like December 28th or something like that. So we'll try.
There's games. I got a flight to Edmonton. We got a whole bunch of stuff to deal with. Yeah,
Chris works. So that'll be a moving target. So thanks, BBC. Thanks for shoving things on Sundays again amidst the busiest holiday season.
You know what? Less inconvenient than the Christmas special, to be honest with you. So.
True, and of course, we can't watch it on Disney Plus either, which also throws a wrench in things. It used to be so much easier. So, but
well, I don't have Disney Plus anymore, so that avenue was self-closed.
That's true. You canceled it, didn't you, Warren? Well done.
Well, because besides Doctor Who, whatever, there's gonna be one Marvel thing here that I maybe care about, and then one Star Wars thing possibly that I care about. So why spend $100+ a year on this when I could just watch it on iPlayer?
My subscription runs through to late February, so I haven't canceled it yet.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
It's in the post.
Yeah.
If nothing else, it gives a chance to watch the Muppet Christmas Carol before Disney Plus go bye-bye.
Before it all ends.
One thing that I am, I think, happy about for this is RTD saying how this is a limited series. So I don't know if that's like a contractual thing because Disney's going to own a chunk of it and they can't continue without them, or it's just written to be the 5 parts, no more, no less.
I think the latter. Yeah, I
like when things that should be, short runs actually are short runs.
Mm-hmm. Tells a story. Yeah,
there's a time and a place for it. You don't have to do 8 seasons after the fact.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I agree. Yeah, it's like, I know everyone apart from me is gaga over that new Apple TV show Pluribus.
Including me. It's pretty good.
But on the outset, it feels like a complete story. And so when people are saying, "Oh, maybe it'll get renewed for season," like it's already been renewed for season 2, I was thinking, I didn't like the show enough at the end of episode 1 to want to live in that world anymore, and just to think of hey, let's continue telling stories here. Just God, that's depressing.
I've only watched 2 episodes, and I don't know where it's going, and that's part of why I like it. But my instinct is, how do you get a season 2 out of that? This idea, which is a good idea.
Can't remember if it's 3 or 4 series, but Vince Gilligan has been on the record saying it's either 3 or 4 is what his plan is.
Well, friend of the show, Kim Rogers, said, this is what in my head, I think this is what he wanted the X-Files to be. And I'm like, you know what? This is not a bad lens to look at it through.
And never watching his X-Files stuff,
his X-Files stuff is the best stuff.
Is it really?
Other stuff, not so much.
I've heard.
Yeah.
And so that kind of makes me look forward to watching Pluribus even more because I missed that kind of thing back the first time.
Also, not to give anything away, but it's interesting in that it's, as Apple, so they got a pile of money being thrown at this thing, but the way they're doing it doesn't need a pile of money, which I think is kind of interesting.
Oh, see, now you're just making me want Apple to buy into Doctor Who now, because that's the exact philosophy they need to have for new Doctor Who.
I don't know if they would be able to, whoever this person might be who makes it for Apple, would be able to resist the temptation of that much zillionaire cash, but Vince Gilligan apparently can so far.
That's true.
I assume after Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, he's probably comfortable enough financially.
Yeah. But just on screen, it doesn't like, there's showcase bits, but it doesn't go out of its way. It's like, this is modestly made, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Maybe Vince Gilligan just does Doctor Who and it's set in New Mexico for
sure. Why the hell
reason.
not?
Could do it that way.
He's exiled. It's like the third Doctor. He's exiled in New Mexico. Turns out Bryan Cranston was the Doctor the whole time.
Exile in New Mexico. There's your new Doctor Who theme right there. It's like, how's the Doctor Who? The great big array is there. The very large array is there.
Yeah.
There's
somebody from
lines.
Big Finish just bolted off their couch. Oh my God.
Oh, we got to get this quick into the can. How's the Doctor going to handle Santa Fe? Roswell was there, for crying out loud. Everything happens
Does he
in
like
New
Mexican
Mexico.
food? What's going on?
Yeah,
Come on.
New Mexico. It should be the natural home for Doctor Who now, I think. Oh, let's do it. Okay. Done and done. All right.
The soundtrack, I think you said that, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to jump back on
Alison Goldfrapp and whatnot. December 12th for when that drops. So after episode 2, but before episode 3.
Well, the War Between soundtrack actually drops the digital release.
December 5th. There we go.
Comes out the 5th.
It's Heroes specifically. It's the week later.
Okay. Yeah,
which is
on
weird because it's track 17 on the thing. But
I think the digital
they're holding back that last one, I guess.
Yes, I believe so. Culminating something. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, so that's odd. Who knows? It'll come out when it comes out, I guess. Which is good because it took literally like 8 years for the next soundtrack that's on our news list to come out, which is the Series 10. They finally had an announcement. They announced that on Doctor Who Day. It's coming out the December the 12th. 12/12. Get it? 12th Doctor. 12. That's coming out. Finally. I forget even what that music is. It's been so long. But that includes the music for Return of Dr. Mysterio and up until Twice Upon a Time. All that's coming out on December the 12th. Finally, the Peter Capaldi era comes to a close musically on that day. To say nothing of the Gatwa era stuff, if you want to reenact that scene where Kate Stewart says to the Doctor, in many ways, we're all your children, and then you have that big musical swell. Well, I don't know.
Boy, do I.
I don't know when you're going to be able to do that, Warren, on your fan films, but probably 2036 is when that music is coming out.
Good, I'll be 65 years old. What a way to ring in retirement. A fan film tribute to the Gatwa era.
Yeah. RTD. Let's talk about that. How about at the it was at the premiere. That's what it was at the premiere for
talked a little about this already, but yeah,
we did about how Russell T Davies mentioned about how he knows exactly what's going on in the he has the plot all worked out for the Christmas special, but he hasn't actually written it yet. This tracks with how Russell T Davies writes. He thinks about things, he keeps it in his head, he rolls things over, and when it's finally ready to come out, he jots it down. That's when he actually does his actual writing. Hoping
sometimes to great effect, sometimes not.
Yeah. So he hasn't even written the Christmas special yet, is what we're here to say, and it'll be written early in 2026.
Yeah.
So that picture that's completely not fake is them looking at blank pages going, huh?
There's nothing on here. What do we do?
Well, maybe the pages.
Why is there just drawings? What the hell is this?
The pages came from the future.
Okay, makes sense now.
But he says,
don't I back in my face.
But he says he's currently busy on the War Between, and he's shooting a show in Manchester, which I'm assuming is Tiptoe.
It's Tiptoe.
I don't know if it's
Tiptoe.
I don't know if it's. I thought because they've been going for a bit, so I didn't know how far along the shooting was. And then he says my plate clears next year, and we'll get to work on the Christmas special then.
Yeah, it is Tiptoe because they've been working on. I can't remember who's directing that one, but I think Phil Collins is back on. Basically, he's got the band back together for another.
Oh, it's a Doctor Who director, I know.
Watch David Tennant's schedule next year. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Billy Piper is
directed by Peter Hoare.
There we go. Who's also directed episodes of The Last of Us. So Billy Piper, Billy Piper's going to be in season 3 of Wednesday. That Addams Family show that's on Netflix, and they are shooting in Ireland up until September. Now Billy Piper doesn't have the lead role in that, but she's certainly
she could be done within a couple weeks or something at some time. God
knows traveling from Ireland to the UK is so lengthy and interminable.
Yeah, but so I don't know if here's the thing. I don't think any of us. Oh God, this is like Warren's and indifference towards the War Between. I'm like, I'm thinking of the 2026 special, and they're going, there's no way that RTD is going to leave that Billy Piper thing hanging.
Of course not.
It's going to get dealt with, and probably unsatisfactorily. Let's face it. Which means Billy Piper is going to be in this thing at some point, somehow. But how are they going to work around the schedules, or is that going to be a thing that even gets dealt with? Who knows? You were saying, Chris.
Yeah, I don't know where. Because they could just make something and throw it on. iPlayer / the web for some
Billy Piper
bridging thing.
Yeah, but that would confuse the hell out of people watching it.
Yeah, it would.
Like they're not watching this bridging thing.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at so we recently had the anniversary of the Pudsey Cutaway.
Yeah.
And if you watch that, okay, fine. You'll kind of bridge between Series 1 and Christmas Invasion. But if you don't watch it, you're really not missing anything necessarily.
Yeah.
And it's not like everybody watched Children in Need to have seen that back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Time Crash, same thing. It's great, but you don't need to have seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's what's the other big charity thing? I can never remember. Because there's Red Nose Day, aka Comic Relief, in the fall, and there's another one in spring. Is that Sport Relief or is that something else? I don't know. There's some other big charity thing.
Right.
I think around then, as I'm probably talking completely out of my backside. I don't know. But I'm just trying to think of opportunities where they could have like an actual broadcast thing.
Children in Need makes the most sense, which is I've always done it for the Christmas related things because it's like, 6 weeks before Christmas, and it's sort of like
and that would actually still be a perfectly viable spot to do whatever needs doing.
Here's how you fix this, and then by fixes in big quotes.
Right.
She's in the memory TARDIS, and she's looking at the scene where Romana is cycling through all the different appearances, and then she goes, "I think I'd like to do that," and then she cycles through appearances, which you then start the Christmas special with, cycling through appearances, referring back to the memory TARDIS nonsense. I never said this would be good.
Oh God,
I don't hate that.
I think the memory TARDIS set is gone.
Sure, yeah. I mean, this is ridiculous. I'm just saying that's how you do it. You establish that, and then you reestablish it for people who haven't seen it, which is most people, so that she just reverts back into Shooty, and then Shooty reverts back into somebody else. They just use footage of him or something.
Look at how much mental gymnastics it takes to keep up with Doctor Who these days. It's ridiculous. God,
like if they hadn't done this gambit in the first place, they wouldn't have to worry about it. Well, don't have to worry about it. It's just a TV show, but
or Billy Piper is the Doctor. We just go on with
that too. That's entirely possible.
God, this show needs a refresh. It just 100% needs to be a ka-chunk, blow it up. Let's start.
It just doesn't need to rely on gimmicks. That's all we're asking.
Yeah, 100%. Because you just getting out of the gimmick is what is the tough bit,
Mm-hmm.
I think we need some gimmick. Like we need the gimmick of the TARDIS and dimensional transcendentalism, and we need the gimmick of regeneration, and
I suppose
we need the gimmick of we don't need the gimmick of the Sonic, but I mean it's there. So we maybe need less gimmick, but we can't go without.
The new stuff is more gimmick-y, like By Generation or this, or there's probably a couple other examples.
Or Talking Space Babies.
Talking Space Babies. They've had equally dumb stuff in previous seasons.
That's true, but they haven't for some reason mysteriously come back at the end of a Doctor's run when the previous plans fell through.
True. At least RTD has to clean up his own mess during the Christmas special.
I suppose so.
Left in somebody else's hands.
That's true. That's like you get one chance to come back and clean all this up.
But does he?
That's assuming he thinks it's mess. Maybe he thinks it's a great idea. He's the one in charge of the show, so here we are.
For one more time. Happy Christmas, everyone.
A bunch of curmudgeons, including myself.
A little bit. Hey, how about the BBC also on Doctor Who Day? This is how unimportant stuff was. See, like I said last week about how it just felt like a weirdly quiet build up to Doctor Who Day this year, and we had sort of like left the option open because we recorded last week's episode on Saturday. I think all the stuff is going to be dropping on the November 23rd. We'll do a quick insert to put. We didn't do anything because nothing really important happened, and one of those things was deleted scenes. Whole chunk of deleted scenes was released, 17 odd minutes worth of it, except the ones that you really wanted to see, like the stuff at the end of the Reality War that is not there.
All the YouTube comments are that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Too bad. You get to see an epically length scene of the TARDIS from the Robot Revolution that was already out, and a few other scenes.
Some of which are okay, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But some of them are just interminable.
That TARDIS scene was cut up, and yeah. But there's other scenes that are just they're character pieces, and oftentimes that's what people remember about actual episodes is the character.
Like Joy of
bits.
the World, where he's going to call Ruby and he doesn't, and I'm like, yeah, that's a nice little touch.
It was a nice little touch. Yeah, I think they could have kept that in. Chris, you were saying? I don't know if you had a chance to watch these.
The long TARDIS scene, I think, as much as anything, just could have... It isn't necessarily that it was too long or too unimportant or whatever, but just the way it was presented, they needed more cuts. Like like coverage shots kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just a little... Something to make things a little more dynamic visually.
Yeah, I think...
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Warren, please.
I was going to say the Ryland shot where him and the Doctor are floating around in space, but I was like, well, this looks janky. So I'm like, well, wait a minute, though. If they're going to delete it, they probably, before they do refinement compositing passes, are definitely going to go, yeah, we don't need this, so why would we put extra work into it? So that's why it looks the way it does.
Yeah.
I did not need to see Ryland floating around in space, though.
No. That was weird. Yeah, you could tell that was very much almost kind of like early composite
work print
shots.
kind of stuff, to use the wrong term, but get where I'm going with this.
Very worthwhile cut, that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, links in the show notes if you want to read all this stuff without having to worry about, or read along with the scripts. The Series 2 scripts also are now included. You can find out all the different changes between. People have been making hay about the fact that the final script of the Reality War was like dated September 30th. How did you know this? Because it includes a regeneration scene and everything else on top of that. Like, how did they know that in October? If Ncuti Gatwa went on to the Graham Norton show and says, "Oh, we're doing that." I do find it kind of like at the very end. I literally just scrolled. I haven't read it before. A face appears. A person reads in a miraculous golden light who says, "Oh, hello," and so like it actually isn't. It was in the script, but they didn't. Is it perhaps they didn't have someone in mind for that at the time?
Or they're protecting the fact that it was Billy Piper because it's just a face appears.
Honestly, that could be it too. Disguise the end of the script.
Because you don't want that getting around. Billy Piper appears. A script is a lot easier to pass around than...
Yeah.
So the regeneration energy, volcanoes out of him, collar and sleeves filled with streaming bolts of gold.
That's something you can go away in the next iteration of Who too. Destructive regenergy.
Yes, agreed.
Kind of tired of that.
I mean, that's kind of what I liked about, I guess, Time of the Doctor, that's the worst offender, but then when he goes back into Capaldi, it's just like, face done.
Yeah, well, because he's already regenerated at that point. He's just,
But it was a nice touch that they didn't overdo it again. So.
Yeah. Anyway.
I read, I want to say it was on Reddit, because... we all like to pick on Reddit, but I can't say for sure it was there. Anyway, I saw one remark when the Series 2 scripts got posted. One person saying, why can't we have the final script releases? Because it's more fun to have the work in progress
Yeah, exactly.
ones.
Yeah.
Way more fun. See what ideas didn't make it and whatnot.
Especially for this podcast where we this is stuff we love. We love seeing how the sausage is made, because... It helps explain away the things that don't work.
Especially as a vegetarian, Stephen.
That too, the veggie sausage. It's it helps.
Full meat.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Fine.
Because I keep cutting you off. Sorry.
That's all right. No, it just the remit of the show has sort of become I think it's easier to look at how things might have not gone to plan. To see why things failed, or indeed how things really went to plan, to see how things succeeded, as opposed to say that was good and that was bad and just leave it at that without sort of like digging into why such things happen. So when we see scripts and everything else and like changes that had to be made and for whatever reason, it's very interesting. Helps ground us, I think, too, as a TV show. Instead of just sort of complaining about actual on-screen continuity. Official pretend is Warren.
Unofficial pretend, yeah.
Unofficial pretend.
And every TV show is like this. We just don't, those TV shows don't put their scripts out for fans to see.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Want to talk about some action dollies? You want to do that? Action dollies?
Am I going to get these? Probably not.
No, the what we call it, the Warth Warriors from the Star Beast from 2 years ago are finally out from character options. I'm impressed by how they stand up. They must be standing on little bases or something like that because they're
there's pedestals.
They do look cool. I just don't want to spend God knows how much money on them.
That's a lot of money on them. Yeah. Especially with Bookshelf Doctors and indefinite hiatus.
Yeah, you're never going to let me go on that, are you? Why aren't you making this thing that I half pay attention to continuously for my benefit only?
No, I'm just remembering.
Yeah, Yoda Savings and Loan.
Yeah, I'm remembering.
Yeah, good point, Chris. Thank you.
I know those are tough to make.
Yeah, you don't say.
Well, here's the funny thing. Thanks for mentioning my stuff so I can talk about it, Chris. Yoda Savings and Loan is little stop motion Lego things that I did. I did about 7 or 8 episodes. And they were on my YouTube channel until the people who own the rights to the Star Lost deleted my YouTube channel overnight one night. And so all my Yoda Savings Alone episodes were lost. Literally lost. I can't find one. There's one that I do not have the complete copy of. I don't know what happened to it. So there's a missing episode of Yoda Savings Alone somewhere on a hard drive somewhere.
Well, talk to me when there's 97 of them.
Yeah.
I did one episode of Brota and Middle Management Zygon, which I've watched recently. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of funny, actually. Yeah. But I'm like, but it's so much work. Like, it's a ton of work for a minute's worth of a stupid Zygon walking around being menaced by upper management.
It is. But it's fun.
Well,
it is fun, but it's just a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. This is why Steven no longer does the Lego telestat recons of
those are so much
Advent
work.
A ton of work. I completely understand.
Work. Yeah, and they didn't even move. The pictures didn't even move. That was so
it's still a
much
pile.
work.
It's just very time consuming.
It is. Yeah. Sorry, everyone. Anyway, Wrath Warriors character options out now. Very expensive. There you go. That's your
£45.
Hey, you got the money and you enjoy dollies, go for it.
Yep.
They look really good.
They look great. I love their names, Zrig and Zograth.
Yeah. As directed by Rachel Talalay. There's a DW Doctor Who magazine's coming out this week, the regular issue, and I think is a special issue coming out the same day. Doctor Who Unit Declassified, which is coming out on December the 4th, I want to say, which is also
which
a Thursday.
Is a Thursday.
Yeah, same day as the DWM. Very weird. Anyway, there's a bit of a preview to because Pete McTighe is in there and he's previewing the new series of War Between, and there's other stuff about Unit and everything else. There's a rarely seen interview with Nicholas Courtney. I think there's even with Fernanda Marlowe, Corporal Bell herself.
Oh wow,
has new interview. I think we've ever had an interview with her. The one other woman who works for Unit.
Yeah.
In the 1970s.
Well, there's so many to choose from. I mean,
I know.
I love the cover, the comic inspired cover with the Briggs standing on St. Paul's Cathedral stairs with the invasion Cybermen coming after him. I'm like, Briggs, they're right behind you, man.
Yeah.
Like, come on, look behind you. Yeah. But I just love the sort of Marvel-esque cover of it. And they've got like the Zygon, the Silurians, the Sea Devils. And then they've got a giant one of the Maggot from the Green Death. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
This is also a variant cover. Annoyingly, Panini's website doesn't actually have a link for the regular cover.
Very weird.
It's a great cover, though.
Yeah.
And neither do they have DWM 624 showing yet.
That'll come by the next episode. Yeah,
Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, by the next episode we'll talk about what's in that. Because I imagine there's gonna be another War Between preview on that. So that December 6th episode would be like, listen to it now because it's gonna be out of date in a day. By the time the War Between comes out, we'll be previewing the whole thing the day before it actually starts dropping. So
you can shrug in disgust at us quicker than usual.
Yep. Also out on Doctor Who Day was a little Radio Times bookazine, as I like to call them, which had a various different articles and interviews from the archive of the Radio Times. Essentially, there's nothing really new in there, but it's all sort of compiled all sorts of stuff from the early days of Doctor Who, basically the 1960s. So it's a nice little compendium. It's free to download. There's some great pictures in there, some stuff from behind the scenes as well, which is pretty cool. Which, going back to how we love things like behind the scenes stuff, especially in the 1960s, it looks pretty cool. So that is free to download. Links in the show notes for that. Doctor Who streaming. We've gotten a few emails. Somebody sent us a bunch of links to like stuff that's like archive, internet archive, and everything like that, where you could find some Doctor Who. It feels a little less legit than other options. Somebody pointed out, listener Laura pointed out that on Hoopla, series 1 to 4 and some of the specials are available. So Hoopla is a thing that is like based on like your local library. That and Canopy are sort of do the same remit. You basically,
and she was saying she's in Massachusetts.
Yes, but we checked it in I checked the Edmonton one here. You don't even need a library card like you would for Canopy. But sure enough, series 1 through 4 and some of the specials, which you really have to dig in order to find. It is not easy to find those specials. You can't search for Doctor Who and find them under the movies. You have to search for the exact titles, and only then will you find them. And the Christmas Invasion, for some reason, is not there on Edmonton that I could find. Somebody sent a screen grab of other stuff. But so there you go. So Hoopla, everyone. Libraries, once again, will save us all in the end.
I just checked. Hoopla is not available through the Vancouver Public Library. Canopy is, and the Great Courses is available through Canopy. Great Courses is very good.
It's very good, yeah.
Also, the National Theatre Collection. So if you're a fan of seeing Tennant do stuff, you might be somewhere in there too.
Is that on? That you say that's on Canopy, not Hoopla?
Well, it's through the Vancouver Public Library because I'm on their page right now, just looking to see. But Great Courses is through Canopy. National Theatre Collection appears to be just straight up through your Vancouver Public Library thing. So if you're in Vancouver, you can watch that now. Apparently.
Well, there you go. So not an easy way, but
you'll have to check that National Theatre stuff out for Edmonton, Stephen. I think our respective spouses would probably enjoy that.
Or would they?
They would. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm literally searching. That's gonna be. That's.
I'm not saying you don't have to search the second.
What if I wanted to?
Oh, okay.
Well, then I guess you would.
I don't see it.
Because while you are searching, then I'll blather on for a moment.
All right.
So yeah, we've been talking about Tubi mostly of late, but just lamenting how new Doctor Who is, other than iPlayer, really nowhere to be found.
Right.
So that was kind of I'm assuming the impetus behind Laura's email.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, you're not looking at all the angles, and sure enough, I haven't had a library card in decades, so I don't have access to this stuff.
Right. I barely use it, but I have one. Yeah,
free to get.
But yeah, libraries are absolutely a fantastic way to get whatever, and having so much, like in my brain, libraries are still, go to the basement of Southgate Mall and check out
hell
books.
Yeah, let's pour one out for Southgate Mall basement. I spent many a year as a youngin' in that one.
Oh, delightful.
I don't always remember that there's all the digital content and video games and
ebooks. You can take out ebooks on there.
Ebooks and which is still digital content. But I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that libraries do now that just doesn't register with me because it didn't exist when I was a regular library goer.
Also, they're our last line of defense against idiots, particularly Southern idiots to us. So political, making it political.
Yeah.
It's I think retrospectively kind of sad that none of us thought about libraries as a place to get Doctor Who, and that's not even the digital stuff necessarily. Like whatever branches or library systems might have the Blu-rays you can borrow, or whatever.
I used to read Doctor Who magazine at that very library in Southgate, I believe.
Oh, on the 100th episode of Downstream, me, Jason Snell, Will Carroll, Joe Adalian, who did the Big BritBox interview that we talked about last week, did a streaming services draft where we basically picked our favorite streaming services and stuff, or the ones that we thought were best, Netflix was picked in round 4. And mine was, and I sniped Joe with, I took Canopy and Hoopla sort of like as a combined thing, because let me tell you, some of the stuff that's on Canopy is like they get a lot of Criterion titles. They get a lot of British TV stuff there as well on Canopy. Yeah, it might be my favorite streaming service, honestly.
I have to go checking that out then.
Yeah, do have a look.
Canopy with a K, apparently.
It was the K, yeah. Like I said, Warren, I don't know what it might be dependent on library connections and stuff like that.
That one apparently is VPL covered, so.
Okay, well, it's great, Warren. I heartily recommend it.
I see for Canopy, at any rate, because that's all I've looked at thus far, is there is an Apple TV app for it on top of...
There is for Hoopla as well. For
is there as well?
Yeah, there is.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
So that means I'm going to have to turn off my...
to digest stuff.
I'll have to turn off my VPN, which allows me to get into KSPS on my Apple TV. So,
that's right. Yeah,
which I pay for. By the way, I pay them $10 a month or more and I can't even watch it any other way. So I am legitimately, in quotes, watching KSPS on my Apple TV.
Yes, because you are outside KSPS's service area, which
rather than go through all the rigmarole and IT nonsense, I'm just like, this gets me it. I am already paying them. I'll straight up tell them I'm doing this if they care.
Yeah. Look what you do, Warren. Warren gives money every single month to a TV station he doesn't even have the right to access,
except for this way. Yeah.
Simply because it showed Doctor Who back in the 1980s.
Yeah. I call that tithing.
And created literally everything you're listening to right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not even in my own country.
No, exactly.
So they're getting Canadian money. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Hey, they always took it at par.
At par, exactly. Yeah. What do we got? What do we got here now? I've lost track of where we are. I was literally just checking.
TARDIS display case with 17 doctors.
Oh my God.
Definitely not spending money on this.
17 doctors.
17. So Master Replicas creates a bunch of stuff. Somebody pointed out that they do like desktop mats of like, was it the LCARs? Is that what's called in Star Trek? The display things. You could have a thing that looks like the Enterprise D from Next Generation, the best overall. Deep Space
Nine is better.
Deep Space Nine's better, let's face it. But the most popular one of Star Trek, and the visual look of it is really cool, and you could get desks. Anyway, I looked around. Do they have any Doctor Who? They sure do. The action figures, not the action dollies, but like the figures. You know, the guys on the
figurines.
Figurines.
1 to 21 scale.
1 to 21 scale. It's a pre-order that'll ship in the spring of 2026. 17 different doctors, that being the 15 sort of numbered ones, and then you got Warren Fugitive in there. And it's $943 American. But it comes in a big, nice TARDIS display case that you can put up there. So
and it looks very awesome.
It does look
and very
cool.
expensive.
Just like it says, this is an art piece intended for display. It is not a toy, Warren, and is not suitable for anyone under the age of 14.
Pre-scolded here. Why aren't you making bookshelf doctors? By the way, don't play with that.
Don't touch it. Yeah. Pretty cool looking. So if you're looking for an empty box program to give your spoiled significant other or child or someone else for Christmas, this is it. Look what I am about to get you in spring of 2026.
Brings me back to the old days of Star Wars, where it's like, here's your IOU, kids. Figures coming next year.
Just for curiosity, so if you took a person that's 6 foot tall, so 72 inches divided by 21, that would make these just shy of 3.5 inches each.
Okay. What about the TARDIS set?
It's around between 3.5. But although they do look pretty uniform, like David Tennant is a hell of a lot taller than Jodie Whittaker, but they're not much different in height in this thing.
No, that's true.
So that'd be 3.25 inches, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I feel like Colin Baker's action dolly is once again shafted when it comes to height, because Colin Baker's the Sixth Doctor one is like slightly shorter than Jodie Whittaker, which of course is incorrect.
And the same
shorter than Peter Davison too.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at my dollies right here.
Yeah.
Sylvester McCoy is same height as Colin Baker in this.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, here it is, but not on the dollies, not on actual dollies.
Yeah. Weirdly, I feel like the Troughton figure, like his skin's a little darker than Patrick Troughton's, and I'm thinking, is this the
original?
Is this the enemy of the world?
Oh dear,
a slightly brown face that he's got going on here, or what? But
is that the pilot aspirations he had?
Maybe. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Fun times, or Doctor Who occasionally sidestepped potential racism. Anyway, that's not on this set, so if you want to pre-order it, go for it, kids. Go for it. Couple bits of Big Finish news to close us out here. The Torchwood's found footage horror, that is The Flawless Man, audio from Big Finish is out now, where there's Tom Price is on there, stars him, and
a junk man of some sort.
Andy and sort of a junk man. Almost kind of looks like a cross between a Cyberman and the Wicker Man. I wonder.
I don't know how you do found footage horror of audio, but okay, I'm willing to go with them on this.
You could find audio footage, I guess. Find audio.
I guess
tapes,
so. Yeah.
That sort of thing. And also. A new short trip's coming in 2026 with the 6 brand new audio adventures written by several different people. And there's Eric Roberts, star of Star 80, warns.
Which I just watched last night. Yes,
new favorite movie.
He is okay. First of all, let's give a trigger warning. Dude, the subject matter of Star 80 is pretty grisly.
Right.
He is. And this is not news. It's like 40-year-old movie.
Right.
Phenomenal in it. He is very, very, very good in this as a evil person.
Eric Roberts' early career. He was nominated for an Oscar for
Coca-Cola Kid, I think it was.
No, Midnight Express. Midnight Run.
No, not Midnight Run. He's not even in Midnight
What
Run.
is the movie I'm thinking? Runaway Train. There we go.
Yes, Runaway Train. That's the one. Yes.
Yeah, he's nominated for an Oscar for that. Yeah, until he literally did every bits of schlock.
He did,
under
including
the sun.
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who was just part of the schlock,
Which he does very broadly. But let me tell you, in Star 80, he is phenomenally good.
Yeah, maybe.
And so is Dorothy. Not Dorothy Stratton. Muriel Hemingway. She's also very good.
Yeah, maybe Eric Roberts channels that Star 80 stuff in his.
I really hope not, because it would not be listenable. Yeah. It would be very grisly.
Well, he reads these short trips. So anyway, that's available for pre-order. They do contain adult material and are not suitable for younger listeners. So very much perhaps Eric Roberts brings his Star 80 self to this bit of Big Fish.
I do like the cover, which is idyllic 50s with a very futuristic looking car.
Yeah.
It looks just to go back. My fellow Usborne book heads, it looks like something that Usborne Books in the 70s would put out as a vision of the future.
Yeah. All right, that's it. That was a lot of news. We got once again, kids. Sorry, another 2-hour episode of Ready for Skaro. Don't worry, it'll be all over soon. We'll stop talking about other things when news stops. Anything else you want to wrap up? We talked about a lot today. What are your thoughts? Any closing thoughts on this news list?
Don't stay tuned for Bookshelf Doctors.
Don't stay tuned for Bookshelf Doctors. Any final comment, Chris?
I'm good, man.
Okay. Then we're off and running, kids. See you next week on Saturday, as I said. But here now is the penultimate episode of our review of Torchwood Children of Earth for Day 4. We're back talking about Torchwood Children of Earth, the comedy hit of the year 2009. This is episode 4, everyone. This is day 4.
I'm just trying to envision putting a laugh track over the end of the episode.
Horrific.
Like people did for Earthshock.
Yeah, no. Not even as a joke. Not even as a joke. It does not feel that way. Day 4, written by Russell T. Davies and John Fay, who received none of the blowback of the events that happened in this, although James Moran, who did not write this episode, did. Directed by Eros Lynn, originally broadcast July the 9th, 2009.
Sole writing credit is John Fay, actually.
Is it only John Fay? Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Nice dodge on that one, Rusty Davies.
Yeah, I know. Put his whole name on there. Where lots of stuff happened. But I don't know about you two. I knew what happened towards the end. I thought it was actually at the end. I was surprised at how much kept going on. Ianto, of course, dies in this episode. And that's the only thing I remembered happening, even though I thought it was episode 5 that had happened. I forgot it was actually in the episode 4.
I remembered it as 4 for some reason. I'm not sure why.
I definitely remembered it as 4. I did not remember Clem dying.
No, I didn't remember that either.
No, but I do remember, I don't think Clem got through the whole thing, so he must be dead at some point, I had thought myself. It's one of those things where, as they were starting to happen, I remembered, and I remembered. Oddly enough, I remembered when Gwen, in the moments beforehand, I think she's going to straighten his tie, and that's like, am I going to be okay through this? Because let me tell you, kids, this was a rough.
Oh yeah,
watch.
It does not let up at all.
What did you say? What did you say after watching yesterday, Warren?
I don't remember.
Episode 4 is still a kick in the
nethers.
Kick in the cojones.
I might have put it in a little more crudely than that, but yes.
It's maybe no maybe some offense to Russell T Davies. Maybe this is great because Russell T Davies didn't have a credit to it. Honestly, John Fay's career goes on to he does next to nothing. He writes like the odd episode of like EastEnders or Coronation Street or something, and like little else in his writing career. And I'm thinking, how? This is like 60 minutes of some of the best television I think I've ever seen. I watched it for the third time ever tonight.
Whoever it is,
I'm like, I was like, I had to throw out a couple episodes of the thick of it just to like, I got to see something with some of these people in it that are doing something that isn't this, because this was a wallop.
Well, there's enough going on in the entertainment industry to disenfranchise people. Without having to think too much about it. But I think it was you, Stephen, who was saying how the first few episodes seemed to have kind of like overall themes. And if I'm putting a theme to episode 4, dark.
Yeah, creeping dread is what I would say.
It was like I had
dark, dready. Yeah,
cynical. Cynical is maybe not the right word, but like it's got that certain British taste of cynicism. Like there's a whole thing where the cabinet is meeting, and that very much mirrors Years and Years, which is why I think RTD is part of this. Where the Emma Thompson character, I can't remember her name, the one who's in charge of Britain, and she's got this breakaway, basically MAGA group, and she's talking about, we're just going to call it what it is, genocide, and we're going to do it. All right, that was kind of the same thing happening here with the cabinet meeting, where they're just. And the weird thing is, part of me is going, well, this is abhorrent, and part of me is like, but they're the government. What choice do they have? So it was interesting from that angle too.
And on top of anything else, and I think I made a note about this, and I think I might have attributed it to my cynicism, but I can see that happening.
Oh, I could easily see that happening.
Yeah. That's the, I think. There we go. So I'm just going to read my note just because I found it here. The rationalization arguments for Gold Command are chilling, and maybe it's my cynicism more than anything, but completely believable as concepts being discussed, especially the lesser schools, lesser kids argument.
But the flip side of all that is that we have 16 years and a whole bunch of stupid nonsense happening in between. This comes out. Basically, Obama's not even a year in office, right? Yeah. So everybody is all happy and sunny and everything's much better now, et cetera, et cetera. And then this comes out, doesn't really affect anything, but the climate of the time was way different. Now we're just like, well, of course.
Not to mention the plan of blaming a vaccine for the death of the kids that would get taken if they went through with that plan. Like that hits a little differently now than in 2009.
Really
but
does.
Also the whole thing of, the kids in the lesser schools or whatever. It's like, good old British class system. Never let us down.
Yeah.
Like the woman says, what are the school grade tables or whatever for?
Even for.
Probably not this.
Yeah, it's I think the first 2 or 3 episodes of, well, actually not at all, because the third episode I think was definitely sort of like leaning on that the 4, 5, 6 are the bad guys, the real threat here. After having the government, basically try to silence and destroy Torchwood in episodes 1 and 2, here it is humanity. Humanity is the villain in this one. We basically have like usual. The last half of I forgot how long this went on. But it's basically the Wannsee Conference as humanity decides who they're going to send to death, basically, and they all agree, okay, we could all agree that those of us in this room, I'm just thinking of like Fortunate Son, the song by Creedence Clearwater Revival, it ain't me, I'm a senator's son, that sort of thing, like all the well-off kids.
I ain't no senator's son.
I ain't no senator's son, sorry. That's right, he's singing about having to go to Vietnam because, it's funny when we think about, CCR, God, just a classic rock staple, but they're actually singing about some pretty heavy stuff in Fortunate Son.
Just on a kind of related tangent there, which Michael Moore film was it? One of Michael Moore's films in the early 2000s, something post 9/11,
right? Was
him walking the streets of Washington, finding senators and Congress people, and asking if they'll sign their kids up for the army.
Oh, that was a Bowling for Columbine? It was
it would be probably after the Iraq War.
The Iraq War,
probably whatever that one was. Fahrenheit 9/11, probably.
Fahrenheit 9/11 is probably one. Yeah, it was post 9/11 at any rate.
Yeah. That's I just watched with just like my jaw dropping at that whole sequence. Everyone around Nick
I'd
Bray
completely forgotten how cynical that is.
It was. This is RTD at his utterly most cynical until perhaps, as you say, Warren, years and years, which I have yet to see.
Oh, it's very good. It's very
watch it.
There's a few swings and misses, but there's a lot of swings that hit. And you will get to the point where this little children's choir comes on, and every time it does, your sphincter will tighten because bad stuff's coming.
And that's coming from Warren, who won't watch anything that he's told to watch. So.
Yeah, that's impressive, Warren, actually. Yeah,
incredible.
Yeah. I know. I see where you're coming from, Stephen. I don't know if I would totally agree with you about humanity being the bad guys. They're not good. They're not.
That's
good,
true. Yeah,
but they're painted into a corner. As,
they are.
As
it's more
the prime minister. The prime minister. Somebody said nobody's a willing participant in this.
That's true.
They're forced to make a tough decision with
impossible choices. Yeah,
impossible decisions with no alternatives really available to them.
What would we all do? I think actually, I do step back from what I initially said. I think basically that scene, without being so overt as to like actually have someone talk to the camera or something, like it's amazing just how subtle the messaging and the choices are in this series, Children of Earth. It's none of it is blatant and hit you over the head with it. It is presented in that scenario, and you can kind of like, you know what, like how many people were thinking the same things as those people around that table were, like,
or what possibilities could you think of in place of what gets mentioned on screen?
Yep.
Like, could you? I know this wasn't like writer's room style, but given there were all of three writers for this, I'm sure they had any number of meetings on things. But could you imagine the writers meeting with the focus being, hey, what can we put on screen for possible ways to kill 10% of the population of all children? And
without killing children, because we're not going to show children getting killed, because that's probably a step too far.
Except for one of them next time.
Because
humanity has to make really, really impossible decisions, but at the end of the day, it's still a 4, 5, 6 who are the complete idiots,
enemy,
dicks, whatever. The bad guys in this, because Frobisher goes and says, okay, we can offer 6,700 kids. That's our final offer, and of course that gets turned down. And the showing, it's just I don't know. I can't even think straight right now. But the 4, 5, 6 are very, very much full on bad guys in this episode.
Well, I mean, they've also got a preserved 1965 kid just in their innards. So
that's true. Which is really creepy too. And they let them in, that camera person in, and I like that most of those shots are through the camera. Like we still, even though there's a camera, there's a guy in there with them, we still don't actually get a proper good look at them.
It reminded me of in Aliens, where you got the head cams, and that's how you're introduced to where the environment they're in, and then you cut back and you see the actual alien environment, and then because you can't really tell in the head cams, and then you cut back and if you've seen the first movie, you're like, oh, they're in big trouble.
And I don't know if this is Aroslin or if this is the writing, but oh crap, sorry, my brain just went utterly blank. I'll think of it. Sorry, guys.
Well, no problem. Right. No problem. No,
you're traumatized by this.
You know what? Like, oh God,
that's what. Sorry, so that's what it was. When the guy was in there with the camera, and you're looking at the monitor. Again, I don't know if this is Aroslin or the writing, but all the interlacing on the screen makes it really hard to see anything as well.
Yeah, which works.
Which works in the favor, works in the show's favor, because then you're trying, because you really want to see, you really want to know, and you're trying that much harder to discern the image despite all the interlacing lines.
Crappy video. Is there anything it can't do?
I know, like, and earlier on too, like when we see the flashback to 1965, it's not some like spaceship landing and some big CG sequence in this, and aliens getting out and bringing them in. It's just light, and then it turns off, and it's so mysterious.
Remarkably effective.
It's so effective. It's so mysterious and effective. Clem manages to get away for whatever reason, like it's just the way they portray aliens in this story, and also like with how humanity is having to react with them. Like it kind of ruins alien contact with humanity in Doctor Who. you know, because it's kind of played
nicer.
It's kind of played as a joke. Like you watch this, and then you watch the Christmas Invasion.
Well, it's broader, I guess.
It's broader. Let's face it, the Christmas Invasion and Children of Earth is essentially the same story. You know?
Yeah, but are you going to put something as dark as Children of Earth on Christmas Day?
You aren't. You know, but like it's almost like it's a shame that Doctor Who has certainly on many occasions in the modern series, because the budget has increased, so they could feel we can do this more believably. We can have the whole planet being taken over or threatened by aliens or something like that. And they've done it so often now that it's just kind of like, okay, how are we going to wipe the slate clean of this one after 45 minutes? You know, when in a way I kind of wish that it was like this was the first big moment when humanity threatened to all of Earth and everyone was aware of it at the same time. You know, the Cybermen invaded in the invasion, sure, but like most of the people didn't know that it was Cybermen. Nobody knew that the Zygons were invading the whole planet and tear the Zygons and so forth. This is the only time where, and even then though, only when Ianto phones his sister and he says it's aliens, even like, what? Aliens? Like, even then, no one else is aware that it's actually aliens. Well, they're just thinking their kids are saying weird things at the same time, you know?
And to flip it around, have you ever heard of the 456 in the greater Doctor Who universe? No, nobody talks about it. It's the one nobody talks about, even though that would be... Trinity Wells is there talking about it.
Yeah, Trinity Wells is our connection. Somebody ask her. Yeah. She's got to know something on her right-wing podcast she does now in 2025.
I do love about the new season to Doctor Who is how they made Trinity Wells into a conspiracy theorist, which, that kind of tracks, actually.
Yeah, I see the pathway now. Yeah.
Yeah. She's still pretty out there in this in 2009.
But, it like alien invasions, I feel like, shouldn't be treated as willy-nilly as perhaps they have been sometimes in the modern series of Doctor Who. This... Sure, it's definitely more dark and everything else, but like it treats it seriously, and I think that's what makes it so effective. They're not, there's not a bunch of guys, there's not a guy driving around with a fish head costume in the back of a convertible in the first episode of the season as they did in season 2 of Torchwood,
which was funny. I got to give it that.
It was funny, and it's just like, but you know what? Sometimes it's good to take these sort of things seriously, and that's what this does.
And don't forget the fish was high on cocaine.
Of course he was. As, he's a fish, obviously. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, good old kiss, kiss, bang, bang.
Yeah.
That was definitely one of the things that RTD kind of tackled with Aliens of London is aliens are real, aliens are here, the whole world is going to know about them.
Yeah.
Versus, the classic series where that was basically never done.
Well, it was always invading a village or a field, like the Claws of Access. No, actually, the Claws of Access.
Yeah.
Yeah. As Stephen says, like even with the Cybermen, coming down St. Paul's kind of thing. Like it's still forgotten about the next time you're in modern day Earth.
You could only rely on that initial like impact and trauma and terror once, basically, when aliens invade, or like when the Earth is invaded. So by the time Stolen Earth comes along and we're just gonna, or Journey's End, and they're just dragging Earth back, it's nothing, and then everything just settles into place. Like what do those people react to anymore? Like technically that happened before this. Journey's End already happened. It just happened months ago before Children of Earth. Yet it's an entirely different world. It feels,
And in the Doctor Who canon, thanks to Mysterious Planet / Trial of the Time Lord, we know that when Earth was dragged halfway across the universe, galaxy, whatever, everything died. It was, all the burning, the scorching happened, and things didn't survive.
I did think of one example of like where something impacted, which is Invasion of the Dinosaurs of all things, because London is empty for that reason. So it did actually affect people. The dinosaurs were showing up all over the place.
That's true.
But
sure.
Part of this is just budget. You couldn't do that on old.
No.
Who, other than that example and probably a couple other ones.
Well, that and there wasn't the continuity that modern TV seems to demand.
They didn't expect people to tape it because they couldn't, right?
Yeah.
So you saw it or you didn't, and it didn't really matter.
Yeah,
which is all the more reason not to have continuity.
It was a liability, really.
Yeah, I know. How do you work this in? How do you work Children of Earth into the wider universe? It's almost a shame that you have to, in a way, just because it stands alone and does it so well. It does the alien invasion bit so well and the terror so well that, to do it on Doctor Who, I don't know how you would do it, especially if it's this dark, that's the fascinating thing about it.
And Miracle Day is another big thing that changes everything, but less dark-ish, as I recall.
Yeah, I don't remember as much about Miracle Day.
No, I don't either.
I think I've said before. I'll say again. I think I'll be watching that after we deal with day 5 of this.
Coming in 2027 on Radio Free Skaro, we'll be watching Torchwood Milk. No, we won't be. Maybe we'll be. Who knows? Yeah. Anyway, we've been talking for almost 20 minutes here, and we haven't talked about Ianto dying, which is still the big thing. There is still a shrine. Deal. There is still a shrine to this day where the entrance to Torchwood is in Cardiff. A memorial for a fictitious character of a BBC 3 TV show exists 16 years, still tended to, still having stuff put up there. Some of it is a little more worn than other things, but it is still there. What an amazing testament, honestly, to
we've seen it. We've actually witnessed it.
We've been there. We have been there. Yeah, if Ianto dies, I remember thinking, "Oh, they'll get out of this. Come on, they'll get out of this. It's Ianto, you know."
Yeah, so did I.
We can't get rid of Ianto with Jack and everything. And even as it was, only when we saw him finally lying in the big, the morgue,
that which is a shot that really takes you aback.
Oh gosh, it's very clearly in a gymnasium that there's basketball hoops and everything else, and just to hammer home how
I'm like, are they going to kill everybody? Oh, I guess they are.
I forgot about the people in the I knew that Ianto runs out of air or gets poisoned or something. I actually thought he just ran out of air. I forgot about all the other people in the building, trying to get out the door, and they're trying to smash the police are trying to smash the door from the inside of the thing, and they all die, just collapse against the glass. And that Decker guy is he's the only sort of he runs and gets a breathing suit to put on and manage to survive and stuff.
Whatever
hazmat, thank you.
Worst guy in the world, and he's the one who does it, of course.
And he's the one that gets there, and just I forgot all about that. God, the last 40 minutes of this whole episode, I would just oh my God, this is why I only watched it once since 2009, and because I had to do a panel about it at Calgary Expo. It's because it just hits. It hits so heavy. Still to this day. One of the most shocking and excellent and superb and crushing hours of television I think I have ever seen. Still to this day was day 4 of Children of Earth.
I watched this yesterday for entertainment purposes,
so to speak. Yeah,
so to speak. And then again today for note-taking purposes, and watching it today. I'm like, okay, I'll take whatever for notes. It was literally halfway through the episode before I even started going back in my mind or whatever to write any notes, because I was just that engrossed that half the thing had flown by, and I'm like, oh, I gotta do other stuff with this information. But it's like we've talked about for prior episodes. When that hour hits, you don't realize it's been an hour. There's still very little in the way of breathing room, and most of the breathing room that you get is at the start and at the end, and the rest of it is just basically go.
But it doesn't feel rushed. That's the great thing about it.
No, you're right. It doesn't.
Everything happens, but there's enough time for it to happen. They don't have to. It doesn't feel like they've cut out scenes or lines or anything like that. There's important stuff.
I wonder if that's a benefit of the storytelling conceit of doing it over 5 consecutive days, or if it's something else that really influences that. But
I think it's 60 minutes and it's 5 episodes. These episodes aren't crammed into a 45-minute slot for seemingly arbitrary purposes. I'm always curious.
And neither is it dragged out across a 13-episode run either.
No, that's the thing. Is it doesn't do the Netflix thing where this would be a 10-part series on Netflix.
Oh, yeah. Where Dracula surfs at the end, yes.
Oh, there would be a bunch of ridiculous things, side quests and stuff in the middle episodes that would be completely superfluous.
Miracle Day. Basically.
Miracle Day. I'm reminded of... Craig Mazin and I can't remember who else was with him when they did Chernobyl. Speaking of comedy hits of the summer, Chernobyl,
good movie, or not good series show,
from 2019. Series, HBO said, okay, 6-part series about Chernobyl, and they said, you know what, we can do it in 5. we could do it in 5. That's just enough story and just enough time to make it perfect. And that is one of the harrowing things. So really, 5 episode seasons of a story is like, okay, I'm in, because that is apparently the perfect length to tell utterly devastating stories, because Chernobyl was shockingly good.
I'm going to make a comparison you're probably going to hate, but 73 Yards has a lot of the same feel as this. Obviously, it's Doctor Who, but it does have that, and that's kind of what carried me through it. I know you didn't like it very much, but for me, that weird mood that RTD is very good at was what kind of made me like it. Even it doesn't make any sense. Who cares? I'm digging this mood it's taken me on. So
yeah, I didn't like the resolution of 73 Yards. I also, in thinking about it, like, I wish that it had 10 more minutes to really build on that creepiness, you know.
This is something that RTD excels at and doesn't do enough, frankly.
No, he really doesn't. And it's going back to like what may be so like, you know, I know how it ended in 2010 for us, and we didn't like how the RTD era ended, and we were kind of like hopeful that maybe he would have learned lessons or just sort of matured and grown as a person to write what Doctor Who we were kind of expecting in 2023. And I had this in my head. I had Children of Earth.
Yeah, more or less. Or not quite this, but something close. Something more like Years and Years. And the what's that? Chris, you watched it, the one that actually has a Doctor Who
It's
Resurrection
a Sin.
of the Daleks.
Yeah, it's
that's
a
the
Sin.
one. Yeah.
And he completely does not. I mean, let's face it, he surprised us by completely not doing that for his RTD2 era. I wish that
it's not entirely fair of us to go, why didn't you build up what I had in my head?
I know, but like, oh man, like this, like Children of Earth, like if this was the story that like went out today, it would still be good. It would still be fabulous.
Yeah, we're watching it now. We're still liking it.
We're watching it now. And it was still like, it has not dated, as you say, Chris, talking about the negative reaction to immunizations and everything else and culling children and everything like that. This is what we're dealing with in 2025. It almost feels too on the nose, you know, in some ways. This is perfect, timeless, quote unquote entertainment, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
That I was somewhat disappointed that RTD didn't bring this to his Doctor Who when he came back in 2023.
Well, if I was RTD and I'd made Years and Years, I'd probably be like, that's enough for that now. There's only so much of this stuff you can shove in your head.
That could be it too. Let's have fun again. Maybe we weren't ready to
Disney
have that
probably
fun,
wouldn't go, moody and really dread-filled. Sounds great. We're in.
That's true.
Although they did pay for Alien Earth, so maybe not.
Yeah, that's a good point. Chris, you mentioned notes. You did take some notes, I assume.
I took some. Yeah.
Why don't we touch on those for talking points as we like to do with our reviews?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
So day 4 got the highest ratings of the run, 6.76 or something million viewers. 11th best for the week, and a 91 AI, which ties Journey's End for the best in the Doctor Who realm.
11th best for the week, and it aired at 9 p.m. after the watermark.
And 4 other episodes of Torchwood aired that week as well.
Madness.
Good point, yeah.
Wow.
Well, 3, I guess, up into this one, yeah.
Up to but still.
But it finished 11th of the week, so
yes, yeah,
they had to have the whole week too.
Yeah, so that was pretty damn impressive.
Very impressive. In July too, like not exactly. This is back in the day when seasons more or less still existed, and
that's true. Yeah,
I seem to recall. I can't remember where was it. Was it in the Writer's Tale or was it somewhere else where Russell T Davies, I think, was like kind of lamenting, like, "Oh, they're putting us on in July, with
seasons
5 nights in a week, you know."
Thing in the UK as they are in the States, or were in the States, right? I mean,
with the car commercial thing and all that.
Yeah, because that's how it all started. Is the new cars came out in September, and that's why seasons started in September in the States anyway. So I don't think that was quite the same in England.
But they still did have. I mean, summer was still regarded as like the death slot, you know.
Well, there's more stuff to do, right?
Yeah.
So
you know, there's no internet, so the kids got to go outside and play your association football. You know, like what. And the parents will just be out or doing something else, or you know, in July. I mean, the sun's still up in the UK. Why would you stay inside and watch TV at that time? It's that kind of, you know, feeling and attitude towards TV, and it still finishes 11th. Pretty impressive. Yeah.
Yup.
Stats.
More tour de force acting from Peter Capaldi and Paul Copley.
Oh yes.
Capaldi actually is somewhat in the background in this. I mean, he has a couple of moments in The Sun where he basically tries to hammer home 6,700 kids as their final offer, but like he's, I like how he kind of tries to throw like, that's not my decision, that's your decision. Like he finally gets a bit of a backbone after being told that he's expendable, basically, a couple episodes ago,
Yeah, well, put on the front lines more than expendable, but it's kind of the same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
The kids chanting whatever number represents 10% of the children in that country. Super creepy.
Yeah.
That was a great little twist of what we'd seen previously to keep it fresh. Great. Talk about the rationalization arguments. The only person to react seemingly negatively to the selection of the lowest 10% of kids based on the school league tables is Frobisher. Speaking of Capaldi.
Yeah.
And it's rather dark how quickly that route is selected as the way forward. Again, impossible decision. How do you implement that?
But I also like, Nicholas Farrell, who plays the PM, Brian Greene, is just so, even though he's in charge of the room, it's like he still doesn't make a decision. He's like, once, I don't know what her name was, but the one who's sort of suggesting the, using, the lowest 10%, so to speak, of children to use for this, the prime minister doesn't go, yes, let's do that. She goes, okay, you've heard that. What do we think? He just he passes the buck to the rest of the room to see what they say, basically, to have a vote on it. He's so oily, but he's not like mustache twirling oily. He's just like, he's that prime minister that everyone just loves to hate. You could see that he is like,
how do you out Saxon? Well, here you are.
This is it. You don't go bombast. You go really sniveling and, the one executive decision he makes is that no one's kids in that room will be chosen.
Which, of course, we saw coming.
Yeah.
He also, of course, but he also steps up and says, nobody is voting. This is an executive decision I have to make. So
that's true.
He kind of takes ownership of it.
Takes ownership of the people in the room. We're going to be safe. The rest of the population of this country, that we can all vote on, and I'll throw my hat in the ring for that. But he also does say, which is, what about my nephews? And don't push your luck, that sort of thing.
Denise Riley is the name of the character.
Thank you.
And yeah, exactly. She's the one that brings up, how can I tell my brother, my kids are safe, his aren't. And yeah, it's a lot. It really is just a lot.
It is chock-a-block full.
Yep.
Again, if I had to put a word to this episode, it's dark and heavy and all that kind of stuff. And you would think, I don't know if some would say you need a calm before the storm being the episode 5, the end, the big blowout. But we don't get that calm before the storm here, really.
No,
we get that tender moment of Gwen doing Ianto's tie at the end, and Jack.
That's some good cry acting too. I say
they were all
and Jack trying to put his arm around her, and he doesn't even know where or how to do it. He's got apparently, from what I've read, when that scene was shot, I think it might have been unscripted. What Eve Miles did, and
I think so.
Just kind of brought the house down, as it were. Everyone was just like feeling that moment.
That made it hit. Yeah. I know. I look forward to watching the Declassifieds once we watch episode 5. As I've said this before, but I'm just so terrified of them spoiling anything in the episodes to come. There's only one episode for us to watch yet that I want to.
I still hit stop on the Blu-ray player before I got to the next time trailer.
Good work.
I have to say, also, I said this off air as well, the weirdest and kind of funniest thing about this is watching the grimmest stuff imaginable happen, and then you get the regular Torchwood theme going,
yeah, I know.
Just like the Clone Wars, after something terrible happens, you get saxophones and the Star Wars theme.
And not just that, but twice. Jack mentioned one time when I think Jack mentions Torchwood, and one time when I want to say Lois mentions Torchwood. You get the sting.
Yeah.
You get the theme sting to kind of give you that reminder of Torchwood, and they are the heroes. They are gonna somehow they're gonna step up.
It's a bit of a heroic fanfare for what it's worth, isn't it? It just feels that way. Yeah. At the time,
which feels both reassuring and completely out of place at the same time. Somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
It does, but you almost like you need it. Like when Lois stands up, it's as and Torchwood's been recording this. She's like, yes, finally somebody's fighting back. Because the way that this whole thing's been, I mean, it's just been kicking you. Episode 1 ended like with the whole Torchwood hub blowing up, but then you get the sort of brief reprieve with them rescuing Jack and everything. We have a little bit of humor and think, okay, we're back together again. And then at the end of episode 3, it's like we want children and everything, and then this is just the lowest ebb,
And Jack betraying children is actually the least egregious thing going on here.
Wow. Because he probably thought he had the same mentality of everyone in that room. Like we can give up, if we give up 12 kids, then he just laid, he says to Clem, honestly, you wouldn't be missed. That's why we chose you, the 12 of you. And in 1965,
there's that redemption arc for Jack's character as part of all that, which like it, hate it, whatever, it's there. But that brutal honesty with Clem about the fact those kids would not be missed. They're they're orphans. Nobody wants them. And
now there's a guy who just is not going to break his whole life, Clem.
No,
I suppose so.
Poor guy.
End. Yeah.
He also because he lived on lived in the system his whole life basically after the eventful night in Scotland. I guess he would also probably have been one of the 10% under the new criteria as well, like the people who would land up in prison or on benefits or whatever. So
deeply cynical.
He's boned either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some of the revelations that come with the flashback or the whatever you want to call it. I guess I'm calling it a flashback to 1965. Yep. Like,
yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
you don't like Jack had said, he didn't know the other people's names.
Yep,
the aliens weren't speaking through the children at that point. Like, there's a lot of stuff that he went through and did, and never, like he never backed out saying, "Oh, I was under duress," or "I would never do that kind of thing," or whatever. Like he's like, "Yeah, I did that," but there's a lot of things that he did that led to very bad things that he would have had no way to know what was yet to come, like the whole protection racket that gets mentioned, or anything of the sort.
Yeah, he thought he solved it. He thought, okay, we did it. Whoever they were, they got what they wanted, and now they're gone, and that's all.
In retrospect, I do wonder though. So the 456 at the time demanded 12 kids, and they only got 11. Because Clem runs away, and at the start of the episode, they're theorizing about maybe he was on the cusp of puberty or whatever. Nobody knows why he wasn't picked up, other than they seemingly just left before they got him.
Or why you can still hear them.
There's no
why
great...
they wouldn't. Or why they wouldn't come back and say, "Hey, you shortchanged us a kid. Give us somebody." And then opened. You're talking about side quests. That could have been totally a side quest.
Better left unexplained. Sometimes things are like, that's why the prisoner rules, because they don't explain a damn thing.
Yeah. It's a great. There's no great aha moment. Like, of course, this is why it happened. Somebody leaps to a conclusion, which cuts 5 minutes out of the script that you don't need. That you can now.
Which
paper
is great.
over. It is so
it's
great.
Fine. Because at the end of the day, that is not useful information for the story.
Which is why it bugs me when they do it in Doctor Who. Oh, but it's blah 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 blah. Okay, we don't need that. Just get on to the next thing. Come on.
The mystery is what. The mystery is what keeping us hooked. Thing. Yeah, it's the mystery is what is keeping us interested and us hooked. We're not watching something to be immediately solved by a line of dialogue to show how brilliant the Doctor is. Even in this is what the second reference, basically. I know we're probably get a third at least to Doctor Who, or the Doctor, the character of the Doctor in this one. I assume that's who Jack was saying. A wise friend of mine.
I would imagine.
But then the quote itself is like, okay, I don't even recognize that quote, which is great, because I was hoping he would quote something from, I don't know, like Genesis of the Daleks or something like that. That's something that only the Doctor would know. But no, there isn't. There's not even a member bearer there. He teed it up. He could have said it, a friend of mine said once, never cruel or crowler or something like that. Like he could have laid off a whole bunch of Terrence Dicks lines or something.
At that point in the show yet. Like even the main show had Sarah Jane and a few other things, but they weren't quite at member bearer central that they got to later on. And
True.
Moffat was as guilty as anybody else of that too.
He was a little bit. Yep. I hate to admit. Yeah. But the line is good. Like the philosophy is good. I like how he
and it sounds like something the Doctor would say. Yeah.
I like how he and Ianto have a little bit of banter. I still like the philosophy. Yet Ianto sort of dispenses with it. Well, we're going to shoot you or something like that. Yeah, a little bit of banter.
I'm still amazed they shot at the enclosure. How would they not expect it to be bulletproof or something?
Nothing ventured.
Whatever.
Or poison them. So.
Yes, thank you for quoting Battlefield.
Thank you.
Inadvertently, I'm sure. But,
no, it was entirely inadvertently.
Nothing gay.
Yep, 100%. Directly referenced Battlefield in that quote. Anyway.
Yeah. When Johnson and Gwen are having their little tete-a-tete in the warehouse, the camera is almost never still. Mm-hmm. It's just jittery and shaking and more or less all over the place. And it's really disorientating in a good way. It just helps to add to the whole. Because I mean, if nothing else, you're also like, how is Gwen so assertive and confident in the face of armed soldiers telling her to get on the ground kind of thing? So it's it's a great little heist. God, Eve Miles is so great in this.
She's very good,
isn't she though?
She's just tremendous in this. Like both in her. Her confident ways of dealing with that and what's her name coming in, Johnson, basically just, almost literally and figuratively disarming her as she comes in, but also the tender moments, with Clem and of course later on with Ianto. I think we've been, I don't think we've spoken enough about how great Eve Miles is.
Or
as an actress
even near the start after Clem shoots Jack, she's like, don't give that a second thought. Just focus on calming Clem down.
Yeah, exactly. And then when it happens, that's right. He does this. This is what he does. She just,
I told you he'd be okay.
Yeah. It's just,
what has Eve Miles done since this? Like, you'd think she'd be a bigger deal, right? Or maybe she is, and I just haven't noticed.
She's been, I mean, Chris, you might have more experience watching stuff, but I see her name in a lot of different series and things.
I mean, I kind of want her to, that's why I'm asking. But I just haven't seen that, so.
No, it's not like she's been the lead in like a Netflix series or something like that, but she has been, I think, all around.
Because you're right, she is very good.
Shockingly good. Yeah, really good. Really good.
Yeah, just looking at some stuff like she was in Russell T Davis's A Very English Scandal.
Oh, right. Okay.
I forgot RTD wrote that actually.
With Hugh Grant back a few years.
And
just
Ben Whishaw, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently she was 8 episodes of Broadchurch.
Okay.
And then other series like Frankie, Baker Boys, We Hunt Together, cop thing, cop role. Yeah. So yeah, she's done.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah,
she's done stuff. She's got quite a number of credits to her name, but not anything I think I've seen other than. Actually, I haven't even watched A Very English Scandal.
Other than Bern Gorman, I can't think of anybody from the Torchwood cast who's really made it big, and he's made it big in Hollywood stuff. So
yeah,
I don't know if it's he's made it big. Like he was in Pacific Rim, he was
bigger. He's in Dark Knight Rises,
whichever Batman film.
Yeah, he was in Game of Thrones for a few memorable episodes in Game of Thrones. He was in. Yeah, he was really good in that. Yeah. He sort of floated around.
Well, bigger than the rest is what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really see much from Naoko Mori, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Or Gareth Lloyd-Jones either. Or I'm probably screwing his name
David
up.
Lloyd?
David Lloyd, yeah. I was screwing his name up.
Yeah, not David Lloyd-Jones. No, that's David Lloyd George, the one-time Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister of,
As played by Philip Maddock in a BBC TV series. Yep. There you go. Thought I'd work at a Doctor Who reference. Anyway, Chris, your notes. What's next?
Yes. Yeah. Lois's little smile after she does her Torchwood spiel.
Yeah.
It was a great little moment, a little personal victory moment for her.
Yeah, she says, that's it.
Yeah, she just kind of runs out of gas there, and it's that's kind of cool.
She's not a speechifier. She's, I guess that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I like it was an honest little moment for her. I quite like. I forget what happens to her. I'm really looking forward to see what goes on in episode 5. I got to tell you.
Oh, she doesn't get killed, because that seems to be what goes on in episode 5.
I'm just surprised that she wasn't arrested or detained or handcuffed or strapped to a chair or something like that in the wake of
well, anybody who's going to arrest her is probably dead of gas. So. Yeah.
Well, they're in a government building. Yeah. There's going to be security of some sort very close by, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. But they do nothing to her. So, okay, well, we'll see where that goes. Mm-hmm. The calm demeanor of the 4, 5, 6 saying, "You yielded in the past. You will do so again."
Yeah.
Also, just super super chilling and just they're not worried about anything. They're gonna get their way. They think.
Yeah. They know how this is gonna play out. Basically. Yeah. What they don't know, of course, is that Captain Jack is immortal. But when they turn on the gas, basically. I like that the gas isn't like seen. Like, that is another
virus, technically. Yeah,
it's a virus, I guess. But I'm glad that it isn't some CG virus flying around or anything like that.
Especially 2009 vintage CG virus on TV.
Right? Yeah, it would have been.
That would have been like when you see 90s glop in Star Trek, like in Voyager or Deep Space Nine. Oh, liquid effects. Oh, cover your eyes.
Oh, I know. I've been. Side note: I've been watching, as I do, old baseball World Series recently. And I'm watching the 92 World Series with commercials and everything, and some of the commercials they have for this the Smithsonian CD-ROM. It's not even a CD-ROM. I think it's something different, but they have all this weird liquid morphing effects, and everything turns into this little CD and everything. It's this reminds me of early Odo, in Deep Space Nine.
My favorite version of this is when I went on the ride at Universal Studios, like the Mummy roller coaster, and at the end you end up in this big screen. They project mummies, like CG mummies, but it's CG from 1990 whatever mummies, so it don't look so good. When you get to the end, you're like, oh, I went through this intense ride and you're giving me PlayStation 2 level graphics. Okay.
Yeah, there's so little of that there's almost I'm trying to think, has there been any obvious
maybe muzzle effects on a gun? I think that's probably
think that. I mean, I think the 4, 5, 6 beaming down essentially into the building in episode 2 or 3.
Yeah.
That's
kind of
it. There hasn't been
good.
Any.
That's great.
All of the creature effects are practical effects. That's why it looks so believable and weird and creepy and awful.
Even the kids strapped in.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's some Rick Baker practical action there.
Yeah. Yeah, all of it is just so grounded. That's the one thing I'm getting from this whole thing. Everything is grounded how they're dealing with everything.
Of all the things to ground, Torchwood would seem to be the least likely candidate, but here we are.
One thing that I do find jarring is the way they. So when you see on a screen, you see Lois wearing the contact lenses, and it's poor resolution, poor frame rate, things like that.
Yeah.
But if they kind of cut to the POV camera shot, obviously it's perfectly clear, high def, all that kind of stuff. So that's just production value that lets things down. But they couldn't have done anything really differently in the day.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because it would be. It's sort of played, it's played as a mix of what the people are hearing in the room and then what everyone is hearing through Lois. But you don't want to have entirely dramatic lines read by the computer AI software, essentially.
Yeah.
No, that's why you have Ianto reading the shorthand.
That too, you sort of have to, I think they do a good job of breaking it up for where some of the lines are said by these people and some of the lines are, but important lines I think are delivered by the right people. It reminded me of Warren's seen this movie. I don't think you have, Chris, but September 5th.
Oh yes, yeah.
Where it's a great movie.
Very good, yes.
And there's one moment where basically it's an important line delivered by a character on archive television, and all of it. Everyone else is being told what to tell him and everything like that, but the first time we hear that is actually from the person saying it in 1972 on TV, and that makes the impact so great that we hear it from the right person. If it was everyone else in the room saying it, it would kind of mute it, and that's kind of here. If it was just a robot voice saying the weird things, 325000 or something like that, it would be oh, what? Okay, I guess the computer said something. So yeah, I think they do a good job of mixing it up a little bit, but
well.
I want to watch September 5 again.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm watching it on September 5th, Warren.
Good call. Maybe I'll do that too.
Yeah.
Gee, who'd have seen that coming?
It's very good. It's a very good film, Chris.
Very good.
Side note, we are recording this before September 5th.
Yes, we are.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
Even though people are hearing this generally.
Also, let's qualify this. It's a very good film that also has some of the biggest dollops of broadcast technology from the 70s porn you've ever seen. So Stephen and I were just batting ourselves as we didn't see it together. I did see with a friend of mine who turned to me after and said, they made this just for you, didn't they? And I'm like, you damn right they did.
They did. They 100% did. Yep. Anyway, Chris, other notes?
R.I.P. Clem, the remnant has been disconnected.
Oh, the poor guy. What a sad life that poor guy had right until the very end. Yeah.
Which again, RT is really good at doing this kind of like long, drawn out misery thing, like, and just being kind of cold about it, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're almost thinking that he might get a second chance out of this, might live a less damaged life going forward or something like that. But no, that rug gets pulled out.
Sad. Poor Clem. Yeah. Great performance by Paul Copley. Just right to the end.
Beautiful.
That especially beautiful. I love the connection where we finally sort of see it. It's not that overt when the last thing that kid says to Captain Jack, it's okay, isn't it? And that's what Clem for basically 44 years, isn't it? When he's looking over, because he was looking up over his shoulder at Captain Jack when he asked that, and that's when the trauma hit back when he was 11 or whatever, however old he was. Yeah, great callback, I thought, to that.
Yeah. I like that there's still the mystery of what happens with the children taken by the 456, despite seeing the still a child person in the 456 chamber. Mm-hmm. What's the relationship? Why do they need them? Why do they have to be children? Why Earth only, or as far as we're aware, Earth only.
Yeah. Why does it look like they haven't aged? That
Yeah.
Why they look sort of decayed though too?
Yeah.
How
you can't really
why,
tell. So
how and why are they feeling no pain?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of things that we. Maybe I don't know. I don't. As we've talked about, I don't remember enough from day 5 to remember what happens. And we'll find that out in time. But if nothing else, I guess. So as Stephen has said in the past, the mandate for us this time was to watch whatever day we're going to talk about and nothing further. Mm-hmm. Just we're not supposed to watch like all 5 at once again or anything like that. Watch a day, record about that. What that episode. Mm-hmm. So now that we're on day 4, I can fire up day 5 with impunity at least. So I might just have to do that later on.
just have it sit there for the next few days before we record again, just so you have some closure. Is that how you're going to do it?
I feel too happy about my life. I should really watch this in episode 5.
Yeah, I know. Oh boy. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if anything could top episode 4 with feeling down. I mean, both Erica and I were like, I think she just played her phone game for a few minutes. I think it's how you doing? Idea. How you doing? I says, that took it out of me. It says, yep, I fired up 2 episodes of the thick of it afterwards just because of that. So yeah, I don't know how episode 5 is going to hit because I don't remember. We're not at the end of your notes, are we, Chris? I feel like we're jumping to the end here, but
we're getting there.
Okay.
Getting there.
Well, let's do that before we look forward to episode 5. What else you got in your notes?
So in the gym or wherever they are in the makeshift morgue, even Jack, when resurrecting, doesn't let out his normal gasp for air, which to me just kind of underscores the somberness of the scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really glad. I mean, I'm really glad that he didn't. He's done it literally every single time. He's rejuvenated himself. I'm glad that they sort of knew to not do that.
Just kind of toned that one down.
Yeah, I had a subtle performance too when Barrowman's lying on his back and he does this thing, the breathing thing, and then you could sort of see that like the memory of what happened before he died just set in. Like he just sort of like, where am I? What's going on?
It's like when you wake up after a dream and for a second there don't realize it was a dream.
Yep. And then you realize that it is, and it's real, and that Ianto's dead, and yeah, that was it's good. A good little solid performance. He cries too. Like everyone cries unbidden in this episode. It's, well, maybe just Gwen and Jack, but still like crying on command essentially. He's got Barrowman had like tears running down his face and down his nose and stuff like that, and Eve Miles was crying in a little bit there. Like those are some proper emotions going on from those actors.
Although I did find it inadvertently amusing when Ianto was interrogating him earlier, and he's like, "Weren't you going to tell me about this?" He's like, "It's all surface level. That's all there is." I'm like, "Yeah, Yeah, John Barrowman, I believe that. I think that's probably true.
Ayo. Anyway.
Yeah, sorry, Chris.
It's all good.
Yep.
And then just the last thing I had written down, ending the episode on the shot of all the bodies from Tem's house is darker and more powerful than just ending the episode on Ianto dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
It did. It hit more. I know. I was expecting it actually the with the camera pan, tilted up or panned up or whatever. I thought that was the end of the episode, and the floor but near the 456. But nope.
And it very much could have been.
It very much could have been. It carried on for like 5 minutes after that. It was that. I think that's what made it even more powerful.
Yep. Absolutely. And like I talked about in for day 3, like the 456 showing up halfway through the episode hits really differently than showing up at the end for a cliffhanger.
Yeah. This is a maturity thing when it comes to RTD again. He had the maturity and the wisdom to hold back on the shock events to midway through or towards the end of an episode, not the very end. Mm-hmm. I feel like he'll go for the shock reveals when it comes to Doctor Who.
It is a different animal in some ways, too.
It is,
so.
but you know what? But you could still, I think it would be way more dramatic in some occasions. And here he's like, you know what? No, I'm going to have Ianto die 5 minutes left in the episode. Mm-hmm. And we
give you time to let it simmer.
It does, a little time to simmer. The characters are told about it. And it's also a way of saying they're not getting out of this. He's dead, like maybe like the reveal, the reprise of episode 5, all of a sudden, no, he's saved and one bound they were free sort of thing, but this just says, nope, he is dead and you will have to deal with this for the last 5 minutes before we move on to the next episode. And yeah, I like it. I like this approach a lot better. I'm here for developments more than reveals is basically what I'm getting after.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, and again, with 5 episodes, there's time for things to breathe.
There is, and
develop and play out. It's not interminably slow. Again, like a 10 or 13 episode run would offer, but it's I don't know. Maybe I need to look forward more to the War Between being a 5 episode event thing.
It's a magic number, apparently. I don't know,
Well, we don't know that.
That's true.
We befilled ourselves last time with RTD2 by making assumptions. Let's not make assumptions either way about War Between the Land and the Sea.
Yeah, we should begin to torpedo it actually, and our expectations along with it, so that we're pleasantly surprised again, like we were.
Which is what we did with Children of Earth. We came into that from season 2 of Torchwood, which was some of it was okay, and some was just outright silly, and then we did not expect this.
No, we did not. Not at all.
Yeah. Good stuff. Is
that it for your notes there, Chris? Is that the last one?
That's it for my notes.
Well, we've pretty much talked about the episode for the entire duration of the episode, which means it's a good episode of Torchwood Children of Earth. I do hope that you're able to listen. I think when we started this whole odyssey, I'm not even sure that was it July or was it August? I can't remember now. But of course, Torchwood and modern Doctor Who and Sarah Jane and Class have all disappeared from streaming service outside of the UK. I do hope that you've had a chance to watch these episodes. And if you're watched it back in 2009 and haven't watched them again for this to listen to us, keenly recommended. Even if you buy it on iTunes or Google, whatever, Amazon. I don't know where you buy your streaming stuff, or if you can find the DVD or Blu-ray. It's worth a purchase. If while you're waiting for stuff to show up on streaming again, hopefully one day, Children of Earth is worth $7 is probably costs or something like that on iTunes. I have no idea how much it costs, but
well, it's 13 or 14 in Canada is $13 or $14 on iTunes, is $20 on Amazon when I bought it to buy the Blu-ray. I think it's gone up a smidgen.
Right.
Just looking at Amazon.com, $13 for the Blu-ray. This is multi-format. I don't know what it
I don't know what that means either.
But it's it's reasonably affordable.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of buying digital versions of it if you want to do that. I mean, it's worth it. It's really. I was conversing with one of our Patreon supporters earlier today, and he gave up on Torchwood early on in season 2, way back when, and he never watched any of this. And I says, Children of Earth, this is worth it. It is worth it. 100%, it is worth it. It's not fun. Believe me, it's not fun in a way, but it is impressively good television. I'm looking forward to and both dreading at the same time watching episode 5 of this, because I know I'm going to be impressed and shocked and appalled and bowled over, and but I'm sure I won't be like, yay, punching the air happy. But you know what?
No, that won't be happening.
It'll be
Sutek! He's back
in dog form, but
yay!
Yeah. So anyway, that's it for this one. Next time on our Children of Earth rewatch, which we never came up with the title for, and that's fine. We'll be covering day 5 of 5, the final episode of Torchwood, Children of Earth. Do hope you join us for that. In the meantime, and in between time, I am Stephen in Edmonton.
Warren in Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
So long for now.